Ball is fumbled, picked up by Kenneth Olabode, and he runs it in from the 6.
And Colorado has upset UCLA.
20th, and there it is! Are you kidding me?
Jumper from 15 and will knock it down. Kennedy Leonard.
Over left, there's a slip screen inside. Actually elevates and slams with the left hand. Comes out right, head fake, strives down the lane, elevates for the jam! Holy cow!
Wow, one of the best dunks of the year.
It's been a great experience for me. It's been a blessing to play here at the University of Colorado, something that I dreamed about as a little kid, and be able to play here in the Coors Event Center. It's been a great experience. When the crowd's going here and when we're playing well, it's electric in here and it's great to play in here, and we feed off of the crowd, and the crowd's been great all year, and so it's been fun to play in front of this crowd.
In the corner, Fortune wide open, fires right between the eyes from downtown. Finally, holy cow.
My time here at Colorado has been great. It's been a great 3 years for me. It was a good experience being here around the guys and the new coaches. They gave me a good opportunity to play here at Colorado, and I thought it was good. I'm definitely going to miss my teammates. Just being around them every day has been a blessing to meet those guys and just go through things that we went through every day, the ups and downs. It's definitely fun to get to meet them.
The fake and swaddled away. At number 5.
My experience playing at Colorado, I got to experience a lot of new things, a lot of different things that many people don't experience. So playing in the Pac-12 conference, it's unique just because every team is really good despite the record, and any team can get beat by any team. So really, you got to bring your A game every game. It's real cool.
Xavier Johnson, ladies and gentlemen, yak him! What a big time shot.
It's been a long one. It's been an awesome one. You know, it's been a blessing. There's been ups and downs, and it's all a learning experience. So you know, I take it every day as a blessing. Though, you know, be able to be here, just enjoy Coors, this atmosphere, just everything's just been amazing. You know, I mean, I wouldn't rather go anywhere else. You know, I'd rather just be here and just a wonderful feeling.
Hi again, welcome to Buffalo Stampede. Mark Johnson from KOA Radio, your play-by-play voice of the Buffs, as we're set for the postseason. The Buffs heading to Vegas this week for the Pac-12 Conference Tournament. More on that in just a moment. Great to see those senior comments from the guys over the weekend. Senior day on Saturday with a nice victory over Cal, and then the banquet on Sunday. One of those seniors, Derek White, as we bring in head coach Tad Boyle to the conversation. Right off the top of the show, we found out on Monday, Derek White, and I guess we shouldn't be surprised about this, a first-team All-Pac-12 selection. How about that?
Yeah, well-deserved by a guy who's had an unbelievable one-year career here at Colorado, but really a great college career when you look at it in its entirety. And we knew Derek was good when he practiced with us last year and was sitting out, but it's really nice to see him rewarded. The great thing about all conference honors, Mark, they are not voted on in any way by your own coach.
You're not allowed to vote.
I'm not allowed to vote for our own players, and so it's really the other coaches who recognize that, and that's what makes the honor so special, in my opinion.
We've talked about his great story. It's one of the great stories of the college basketball season. But Ted, as you kind of analyze him and look at the tape on him and have watched him now for a couple of seasons, what is it about Derek White that makes him special as a player?
Well, I think it starts with his unselfishness. He's a very team-oriented guy. He doesn't care if and I think the Stanford game was a prime example, you know, where he didn't even hit double figures, but he had such an effect on the game. He had 8 assists and no turnovers. He got his teammates involved, and there's times where he needs to score for us, and he does, and there's times he needs to kind of take a back seat, get everybody else involved. He can do that, and but his unselfishness and the fact that he's just gotten better and better and better as the years gone on says a lot about him, and he's just a terrific player in every sense of the word.
He's also got that innate, whatever it is, kind of that instinct on the court, though, doesn't he?
He does. He's got the things you can't coach, without a doubt. And you know, the other thing is he made the all-defensive team.
Wow.
So he's an underrated, I think, defender. Fifth in the conference in block shots as a guard. I mean, it says a lot about him as well.
That's really where you kind of see his instinct on the court, don't you?
It is, yeah. Anticipation skills, his ability to block shots, his timing. Again, he just keeps getting better and better. The other thing about Derek, he's an everyday guy. He brings it in practice every day. He's got a great demeanor about him. He doesn't get too high on himself or his game, and he doesn't get too low when things aren't going his way.
Certainly well-deserved for Derek White. Let's talk about the weekend on the court. Buffaloes get the sweep over over Stanford. A phenomenal game, sharing the ball, 25 assists, only 6 turnovers in that ball game, and then bounced back with a nice win over Cal. You guys needed those two going into the Pac-12 tournament.
Very much so. Needed some momentum. It was a feel-good weekend. Had those 2 wins, the banquet on Sunday. The Stanford game was a clinic on offense. The Cal game was a clinic on defense. Now we got to put the 2 together.
Right. I think you coached the offense on Thursday and the defense on Saturday.
Exactly,
so
yeah. Those
well.
assistants did their job.
How about the matchup now? Buffs, the 7th seed, take on 10th-seeded Washington State in a 7 o'clock game on Wednesday night in Las Vegas. That's a team the Buffalo split with, in fact, this year. What do you think about that matchup?
Well, they're senior dominated like we are, so it's going to come down to one of those games. Who wants to keep their season going? And they've got terrific perimeter players. Callison had 30 on us up in Pullman. Ika Rebu is a terrific, talented guy. Josh Hawkinson is a double-double machine, has been his whole career there. Connor Clifford is a big low-post guy. So we're going to need great defensive effort, certainly on our part, on the perimeter and in the post. I do need to – I would like to say I thought Xavier Johnson's defense against Ivan Rabb against Cal was outstanding. Yes. Yep. Really took on a challenge. We're going to need, that kind of effort against a Josh Hawkinson, and then some perimeter guys to step up against Callison and Arebu. Malachi Flynn, who's a terrific freshman guard for them, can shoot the ball. So we're going to have to bring our hard hats on defense.
Buffaloes and the Cougars on Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. Good luck at the postseason, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, 18-win regular season. By the way, that's in the top 10 all time for regular season wins for the Colorado basketball program. We'll see what happens in Vegas this week. We're going to take a quick time out as we continue here in the Stampede. J.R. Payne just back from Seattle in the Pac-12 women's basketball tournament. She'll join us next.
I don't know if anybody knows, but Cindy Brenson's a big fan. Are you kidding me?
J.R. Payne.
Session could not grant the timeout. Freeman inside. Cougs come up with it.
A heartbreaker in Seattle for the Colorado women's basketball. There's the final shot as they get knocked out of the Pac-12 conference tournament in the quarterfinals, 79-78, falling to Washington State. J.R. Payne with us right now. That one hurt a little bit. That was a tough game, but your girls fought back in that contest.
We did. It was just such a roller coaster. We started out so hot, and then we had several of our key contributors in foul trouble for the entire second quarter. That was really hard, so we had a rough second quarter, dug ourselves a hole, and then we did. We fought back. Even late, in the fourth quarter, we fought back and had a chance at the end.
That was a tough one. Ariana Freeman, the last shot there. She got touched a little bit. I know I'm sitting at the Coors Event Center after the men's game, and I got people rushing up to me going, there should have been a whistle. She got hit, but she did get a clean look at the end.
She got a clean look. I thought they got her kind of as she was going up, but she had time to gather and kind of pulled away from their best shot blocker and got a clean look at. And Ariana's one of our best finishers at the basket. We always say she just makes tough shots and had made a bunch that night, and unfortunately just didn't make the last one.
You and I have talked about this before. You got rebounded by 18 in that ballgame. It's amazing you were even there at the end of the contest after having it.
We shot the ball well. We turned them over. That's how we're in the game. Getting out rebounded by 18. We turned them over 26 times or something, which gave us a chance to be in the ballgame. But that rebounding, boy, we got to fix that.
Yeah, 21 points for Haley Smith in that ballgame. Yeah. She played pretty well, didn't she?
Haley was great. I mean, Haley does so much for us that a lot of things that don't show up in the stat sheet. Haley keeps us together. She's always positive. She's a great leader for us.
Yeah, Buffaloes now wait to see what happens with the WNIT. You feel confident about getting a bid, don't you?
I feel great about it. Our preseason, schedule and wins and record and all that, I think, goes to show that we're a team that can compete, on the national scale, and then just playing in the toughest conference in the country. We kind of held our own. We did better than we'd done in the past, and I like our chances.
Kennedy Leonard did not score a lot in that ballgame. In fact, I recall looking up at the board, like I said, at Coors, and seeing her at the end of the ballgame as she got fouled. She only had 4 points, I think, at that point in time.
She did.
What were they doing to kind of keep her in check?
Well, they just make her work from end line to end line, and the way that they defend in that zone, that kind of matchup zone defense, it lends itself to penetrate and kick. So Kennedy, a lot of times, is our best penetrator and distributor. So there were a lot of times that she was collapsing the defense, kicking to open people. A lot of those threes that were made were assists from her.
You've still got postseason plays we talked about, but as you look back on your campaign here, your first for the Buffaloes, how would you grade it?
To me, it's been very successful. You know, I always see it as we still have more games to play, and I think we could, with our personnel and kind of the sour taste that's in our mouth from that last game, I think we could make a run in the postseason. So we're excited about that. But I'm really proud of the way that our team played this year. We had a lot of games where we were down, where we were smaller, where we, you know, and we never continued, or we always continued to fight and scrap and always, you know, competed.
Your team hungry to play more basketball, you think?
Oh, I hope so. I haven't seen them in a few days. We took about 4 days off. We'll be off again today, and then we'll kind of start easing back into it. But I certainly hope so.
Before we wrap up, you had some great seniors on this team. I want you to get a comment from you on each one of them. How about Bree Watts?
Oh, Bree's, you know, someone that's just brought positive energy all year long. She's played significantly more this year than she has in her earlier years and been a really, really big role for us off the bench.
How about Zoe Beard-Fales?
Zoe's been injured a little bit. She was out with a concussion the last week or so going into the tournament, so that was tough, but probably our most consistent contributor from the post off the bench. Hit a big three in her last home game.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Now, next up, Lauren Huggs.
Huggy's been injured most of the year, you know, but someone that won the most inspirational award on our team simply because she's just a fantastic person and been a great leader for our young kids this year.
Yeah, then we just mentioned Haley Smith. How about Haley?
Haley, I tell everybody I wish she was a sophomore, you know, but Haley's been everything to us. She scored, she led us in rebounding, she's our best defender, she's really been our rock throughout the year.
Now, if the Buffs make the WNIT, they won't find out till next Monday. Of course, Selection Sunday coming up on Sunday. So what do you do in the interim here?
Well, we're going to, like I said, we've been off, so after today they will have had 4 or 5 days off. Tomorrow and Wednesday we're going to do a little bit of conditioning just to make sure we don't lose all of that, and then we'll get back and start practicing. You can kind of figure out at the end of this week who you might play.
Sure.
You know, so as coaches we'll start thinking about that and preparing, you know, semi-scouts, and then just wait for Monday night and hopefully we'll get great news.
All right. Well, right now they're kind of in that gray area, not sure about it, but we expect them to be in the WNIT. Coach, good luck when it gets here.
All right. Thank you.
All right. J.R. Payne. As we transition here on the Stampede, we're going to talk a little golf. Roy Edwards is going to join us next as we continue.
We are so excited about this Gate 10 project for our golf teams. It's going to be wonderful for the student athletes with the simulator, putting green. Our coaches' offices will be down here. And this facility is really the last piece of the puzzle for our golf programs because we have great facilities with Colorado National, our Bodecker indoor practice facility out there. We're really fortunate in that way, but now to add an indoor facility on campus is just amazing. It'll be a great game day experience for the teams to come and hang out with a recruit, and it really will lift our programs to the next level.
There are some comments from women's golf coach Ann Kelly about the great new facilities here at the University of Colorado for the golf team. We're in the IPF right now. This is Roy Edwards. He's the men's coach. Welcome back to the Stampede. How about those new facilities? I mean, that's some really interesting stuff you guys got going.
Absolutely is, Mark. Some exciting things happening at Gate 10. We've got a simulator, putting green, great place for our teams to hang out. Going to be just a really incredible, well-used space for us.
Good stuff, and you can use it obviously 12 months out of the year, so weather's not going to be an issue there. So what kind of stuff exactly are we going to be able to see the players doing there?
Well, you know, it's a great add-on to the awesome facilities we have at Colorado National Golf Club, Boulder Country Club. Flatirons we use quite a bit as well. We'll have a simulator, TrackMan simulator in there. Guys and the men's and women's players will be able to come in there, hit balls, get all the ball data that they want. Artificial putting green in there, so we'll be able to do some data and technical work on the putting side. Just a great place for them to hang out. You know, maybe as they're coming to and from for a workout. When the weather's really bad here, it'll be a great addition to what we've already got, which we're fortunate to have.
You can explain to us a little bit here. I mean, here we're with the football teams behind us, just wrapping up practice here at the IPF. I was talking with Darren Cheverini about virtual training in football. How much of a part of the game in golf is virtual training now?
Well, it's become that way. We actually have a player on our team, Spencer Payne, who uses a system called Decade, which takes Google Earth data, helps with his tendencies. He enters and knows his tendencies, and then establishes course management for him going forward. So it is a big deal because then you know exactly where to hit it, how to approach different hole locations, and how to play the game in all weather conditions.
Buffs are ranked in the top 20 in the country right now, coming off the Wyoming Desert Classic, which, by the way, was not in Wyoming. It's very confusing, but a great performance by Colorado down there.
Well, thank you, Mark. It's been a good start to the spring. We've got a special group of players playing really well. Great group of guys led by by a couple of really good seniors, and Ethan Freeman and Jeremy Paul. We're very fortunate to have them and played great.
Yeah, Jeremy, in fact, played very well down at the Wyoming event, right?
Jeremy played well. Ethan played well. All the guys really had great rounds. Spencer Payne had a great first round, 69. As you may know, we shot the low round in college golf this year during the second round, 22 under. Broke the old CU record by 5 shots, which was a pretty spectacular day.
It's all coaching, right?
Good thing it's not. Good thing it's not.
Hey, you mentioned Ethan Freeman. Is it safe to say he's putting together one of the great careers in Colorado history?
Well, it is. You know, our program is really built around, you know, a lot of great players from the state of Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
We knew when we got Ethan that we were going to get a guy that was going to be a stalwart in our lineup. He came in, really fought his way in, and has developed over the years. And he's having a great career. It's been really special to see. Great young man.
What makes him a good player?
Well, he's very confident in himself. He hits it far. He's a great putter. He's really got no weaknesses in his game. Mm-hmm. And anytime you have that, he's got the ability to try to become a little bit better in everything. And that's why you've seen pretty steady progression here over the eight semesters that he's been a Buff.
You know, I think in college athletics we always talk about, you know, fertile recruiting grounds. Is Colorado, the state of Colorado, a fertile recruiting ground for golf?
You know, there's always good players in the state of Colorado, but it's not a deep. It's not an incredibly deep state for golf. So, you know, more than anything, a lot of our players develop late, you know, but we have a good base of programs at the Division II level. You know, we've been the leader on the Division I side for quite a few number of years. And, you know, there's good players. There's enough good players. We've got to supplement them from elsewhere, like all of our sports do. But a lot of really good players come from here, and we're very proud of that tradition.
You know, we talked about the facilities and one of the great things you got going on in golf. When you're talking about the IPF and the Champions Center, does that indirectly help your program as well?
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, you know, the University of Colorado is a place where people come to become champions in academics and athletics. And anytime our recruits see all of our sports and athletes being successful, it's a huge plus to us, because then they know that they want to be around excellence. So these facilities are great tools. If they're used as tools for success, which is what I think a lot of our sports are doing. And you see, you know, we've had a lot of great sports over the years too, and I think there's been a lot more attention placed on them lately as well.
Well, it's been a great start to the season so far. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.
Roy, the Buffs will be at the Bandon Dunes Classic. In fact, coming up, that's the next event up in Oregon. As we take a quick time out here at the Buffalo Stampede, we'll come back. Neill Woelk of CUBuffs.com is going to join us next.
Against DU, CU was so good from the free position line. As you see Kieran right there doing it again, they converted almost all of their free position shots, which is huge when you get those. You saw against UC Davis, Colorado had some trouble.
2-1 is the series lead for the Pioneers right now. Pass in front, looking for some space. Backdoor shot, it's a goal for the Buffaloes.
There's some great sound from the lacrosse victories over DU and Marquette last week for Ann Elliott's team. Ranked in the top 10, at least one poll, and a perfect 6-0. Neill Woelk of CUBuffs.com joining us. That program is rolling all of a sudden, huh?
I tell you what, for the fourth year of the program and its existence, it's having a great season. They've got 3 top 20 wins already. They're 6-0, ranked in the top 10 in a couple of the polls. And this is a program that's going to only get better. What Ann Elliott has done has been outstanding.
What have they done well? Why are they being successful? You talked about they beat number 14 DU. They beat number 9 Northwestern, number 16 UMass. What is the strength of this team, do you think?
Well, the strength is their offense, number one. They're scoring a lot of goals. I mean, they're scoring 15, 20 goals a game right now. And Ann has recruited very well. She convinced a lot of the young kids to come out here, start a program from scratch, and they've delivered. I mean, she has built this program from scratch, and she's got a lot of young kids that aren't young anymore that are believers, and they believe that they can be as good as anybody in the nation. Right now, they're proving it.
Boy, fantastic. And now, of course, next year they make the transition into the Pac-12 lacrosse league that is just becoming a reality now next season. So that's another big step from a recruiting standpoint, I would think.
Oh, it is. No doubt it is. I mean, they'll be playing basically the same teams, but they'll get a play in the Pac-12. They'll be on the Pac-12 network. It means more television exposure for them. It just means a lot of different things for them. And, you know, playing on the West Coast, it'll be a great recruiting tool for them also.
Yeah, good stuff for CU lacrosse. Let's transition to men's basketball. Just wrapped up the regular season, on their way to Vegas, take on Washington State, 7 versus 10 on Wednesday night. Here we're talking talking about an 18-win season, and yes, there was that 0-7 start, which is phenomenal, and the struggles, and everyone's wringing their hands and gnashing of teeth, and yet we're talking about a top 10 season in terms of total victories for the regular season for Tad once again.
You know, and that just shows you how much the expectation level has grown under Tad Boyle. I mean, this is a guy that's won more than 25% of the top of games against over top 25 foes in the history of the program. He's been here for 7 years. 18 wins has all of a sudden become, you know,
not enough.
Not enough, exactly, and that's what's amazing about having done that in the 7 years he's been here. Was it an underachieving team at times? Yes, it was. When you go 0-7, but when you finish up 8-11, I think that was you know, as Tad said the other day, that's a testament to the resilience of this team, and I think it's been a decent to good season, not great, but it's not over with.
Yeah, Buffalo's by the winner. Tad Boyle 101-18 at the Coors Event Center. How about that? Unbelievable. Hey, Derek White on Monday was named a first-team All-Pac-12 selection and a defensive team member as well for the Pac-12. I guess we shouldn't be surprised, as talented as he is.
No, he's had a phenomenal year, and every coach that they played against mentioned Derek White. I mean, the other day, Quanzo Martin, after they beat Cal, Quanzo Martin said, Derek White's the difference. He's the guy that came out there and made the difference, and that's what every coach they play has said. Terrific, phenomenal player. Would love to see him back another year.
Yeah, it would be nice, but alas, he'll be on to the pros after this one. We'll see what happens in Vegas for the Buffaloes this week against Washington State on Wednesday night. How about the women's basketball team? Certainly disappointing. They go one and done in Seattle for the Pac-12 women's team, but how would you grade J.R. Payne and her staff in year one?
Oh, I'd give her a very, very high grade for that first year, because there were no expectations for this team coming in. New coach, first year, did not have a good year last year, but they reached up into the top 20, knocked off number 15 Kentucky early in the season. She has some very quality backcourt players. They're going to be much better next year. And so what I think JR, what she did with this team in the first year was a terrific job of coaching.
And as we talked with her earlier, we surely expect next Monday for them to get a bid to the WNIT. Hey, they're wrapping up practice here at the IPF for the football team ahead of that March 18th spring game. What's been your observations for Mike McIntyre's team here during the spring?
You know, I think the offense is going to be very good next year. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody, but I think the defense is going to be better than some people expect. They lost 8 starters out of last year, but I tell you what, there's a lot of good young talent on that team. Some guys coming back. Derek McCartney that we kind of forget about because he didn't play. Evan White in the secondary is going to be a terrific player. So I think this team has a chance to be very good again next year.
Does it look like Steven Montez's team in 2017?
I think it looks definitely like Steven Montez's team. I mean, there's some young quarterbacks that are playing very well. Tyler Leiter's playing well. Sam Neuer's playing very well, but Steven just has that edge as far as experience. He's running the team. He's looked good in practice, playing against the #1 defense. He's throwing the ball really well. He's got some really good receivers, and I'll be stunned if this isn't Steven Montez's team next fall.
Well, that's what you call a potpourri of topics. That's why we have him on. Neill Woelk of Potpourri. How about that? Of CUBuffs.com. Always read his stuff on the Buffs website. We will talk to you next from Las Vegas on Wednesday night. It's the opening round of the Pac-12 Conference Tournament, 7 versus 10. The Buffs and the Cougars. We'll have it at 7 o'clock on the Colorado Basketball Network. We'll talk to you next week here in the Stampede.